Okay, Mario, once again in another video. This time we're going to be talking about some of these parts that I've been painting. For the this is part of this model here, this design here that's done with EMT tubing and major pipe connectors. So I decided to paint some of these parts. I have the control system here, the footrests, everything's painted. I'm going to leave this a couple more days to fully cure, so that when I put my feet here, at least it won't wear out as fast. But that's painted. The other thing that I painted is the axle. I also welded these 5/8 bolts. I shaved the heads so that they press fit inside this EMT tubing. It's really tight in there, so it's I don't think that's going to go anywhere. So the head sits inside here by the depth of the head itself. The hex head was machined down around so that it fits inside the inside diameter of this pipe. This is EMT, by the way. All this is EMT tubing. I just really like this stuff. I mean, I could buy iron pipe or steel pipe that's done for welding, but like I said, I really like these connectors. It just, anytime I get tired of this, I can just take it apart and build something else. It's really practical and what's the word that I'm trying to use? Very flexible in use. So that's my bar that's done that way. You can see the I welded this at 4 points here, just on the outside, just to retain it, with a little more security there. But that's not going anywhere. So bolt on each side. That axle looks handsome. I'm going to be painting these bars also red. I shortened this height right here because it was a little too high. Now I have these. Now I have these other ones here, so I shortened those tubes so that when this goes in there, it's going to be butted up against each other, the connectors. So it's a little bit shorter, lower on the back side, so it'll be more horizontal and parallel with the ground once this assembly is done. I added this. This is my original handle from the telescopic perforated tubing that I did a long time ago. So I kept the steering section here, which was at the time I just did it with parts that I had laying in my shop. And as you can see, a lot of this stuff is repurposed. This is not inserted all the way, but I just did it here for just to have a mock-up of the steering and just to establish my angles and height, which is there already. This, if I wanted to put a steerable control here, just like a regular go-kart, I can just put a bracket here, just a long bracket that sticks out. Because of this height, I have enough room there to put a bracket, sort of like that, with this end right here attached to links, to the front spindles. So I am going to be working on that, making this like a regular go-kart with steerable front end. Then as far as the drive, because that's already that's not a live axle, that's just the wheels running independently on their own axle bolt. This has to be driven somehow, motorized or propelled with either with the wheels at the front. I'm considering using these wheels as well. These are very beefy wheels. I don't know what hoverboard they came from. I got these wheels as part of a bunch of hoverboards that I bought from a gentleman near where I live. So he had these wheels, and I was telling him what I was doing. He goes, "Oh, you might be interested in these wheels. They're beefier." I said, "Yeah, sure. Throw me a deal." And so I bought it from him. So I may be using those wheels at the front here with a regular control system, via the either a bar here or a steering wheel. So This is working really nice here. The support, I am waiting for some parts that I order to complete this setup right here. I was going to flatten these out and just put a bolt right through and put a clamp around like I did on my other go-kart. But I found these connectors. I found these connectors online via Amazon, and I'm going to see if I can use those. Problem when you buy things that are not the same as these is that you run the risk of them not fitting properly. So I'm also going to be ordering some maker pipe connectors, more of these guys, because I really like these adjustable connectors. I just ran out of those, and I also need some 45s, and these guys right here, which I really like. You know, they allow a lot more utility, you know, with whatever it is that you're building. So I'm going to be getting more of those. Unfortunately, Maker Pipe Connectors has steered away from making these in black. They're no longer making them in black, so everything is this color right here. And I mean, I can see some logic in there. I kind of did the same thing in one of my products. You know, I used to anodize my aluminum frames for my ultralight microlights, and then I decided, you know what, there are people that just want, you know, just the raw aluminum, and so I went with raw aluminum. So I can see Maker Pipe steering in that direction, you know, going from black to just regular aluminum, just regular metal. I believe those parts are galvanized and not painted. So I see some logic there, but I wish they would have kept these black ones, because I really like the black look. You know, when you put it up against a painted bar, you know, it looks really, really spiffy. So that's where I'm at right here. This will work really nice as I can put a panel here for just regular switches here on and off for my motors. Batteries is going to be right here. You want to sit on a plate similar to this. This is just a temporary plate just done with ABS sheet. But my batteries will go right there underneath. The front section, like I said, is going to be, I am going to make this steerable so that I don't have to steer this with my feet. This, however, is my other option. This was I already tested it with this setup right here. So I may, like I said, I may do both of them, but this is already painted and ready to be reassembled again. This can be assembled, you know, with this bar in between, which allows these footrests to pivot individually once they're strapped to the hoverboard, you know, to the footrests. But if I put just a plate underneath here, just a wooden board between this and this, and make it all solid, you know, I can just have forward and reverse, and not have the pivoting here, and not have the individual pivoting here, which would allow also me to use that as an option here, just for forward and reverse. And then, since this is going to be on its own control via the steering column here, you know, that can be done. The steering can be done mechanically. The forward reverse can be done electronically via the hoverboard setup. So I'm still playing with this. We'll see how that turns out. This other one that I have underneath here, I added this. I welded this bar right here so that it allows me to insert the EMT conduit right here, and I have here the same thing that I was discussing about having steering with links. This is just a mock-up here, you know, until I get the proper steering ball links, or tie rods as they're called. You know, so I can still use that. This would have to be attached, you know, to that bar right here, to the steering wheel right here. So I did this other one also as well. That this is coming out very, very heavy because of all these extra pieces that I'm putting here. So I may steer away from this right here, but you know, I did this, and since it's already done, I may as well just leave it. and let this setup simmer for a while. These are already done right here. You know, I did this a while back in some other earlier video, where I have these individual motors already. This would be the drive, and then this would have to be connected to the electronics. In my previous video, I was talking about how I wanted to bring out the controls here. These two boards that sit underneath the footrests here, to bring them out into a plate or a panel or a separate board that I can just manipulate manually for forward and reverse. And that way it'll allow me to bring the control to my hand at my fingertips. So check out that video. But this is where I'm at right now, and as we can see, I'm going to be working on these spindle C brackets here. This is the C bracket that's going to ride on. It's going to ride. Where's that? It's going to ride on this right here. So I will have to do an insert here with this type of tubing right there, so that it's the same height as this maker pipe connector, so that it grips it and it's nice and tight and everything is precise there. So once that's done with this right there, I'll make a Delrin shoulder washer with a proper hole for the pivoting bolt right here. So this right here is basically my controlled C bracket. So that's going to go right there like that. This will be like that, with attached, you know, to the steering wheel axle. This has to be welded. I cut these parts yesterday, so I'm going to be welding this right there. So this will sit right there, and this will have, you know, the hole right through there. Boom. So it'll spin. And I also have to weld a 5/8 bolt right here on this side right here, so that creates my wheel spindle for the front end. And this will simply just be a bar right here, a straight bar with these connectors on top or on the ends, and that'll be my my spindle support right here. So I've done spindles like this before in my other go-karts, so I'm kind of replicating that same process because it's working out really nice. I have to drill a hole for that. This has this angle here just to give it a little more support here. But I have to sand these areas here so that it's not rough. I also bought these C clamps. You know, they come assembled with this bolt right here, and you know the idea is to, when you tighten this, it clamps things. So I bought these, which I was trying to use here, but they're a little bit too tall. I really like the thickness, the width, but the height is just it's just not working for this. And on top of that, I have to add another arm here. I would have had to add another arm, although the holes are, it's nice that it has all the holes already in the center there where they should be. So I am going to leave this for another project to make C brackets from. That will have to be welded with another piece right here to create the steering arm. It's sort of on an angle like that. So that's another option right there. But since I already cut these out of this, I think this is 3/16 angle iron or angle steel bar, I'm going to be working on that, and those will be my spindles. One option for this setup right here, so it's going to look really cool. I also did the seat. We can see here I actually ended up putting these snap buttons here. They snap on just to close this the seat here, and this is made from this synthetic leather-like fabric vinyl that I got at Joann's. I was able to find a good chunk of a remnant, and I got a good deal on that. It's a typically do, if you search, you're bound to find some good deals. And I just made this. It's just a bag. This is inside here. Is actually, this is supposed to be the other way like that. or either way, it doesn't matter. But this is actually foam, that rubber foam that comes in boxes to protect equipment. So when I got these 3D printers, they were shipping this black rubbery foam, so I kept that material, and I made the seat from there. So it's working out really, really well here. This will probably have to be velcroed to this surface here. I removed this bracket right here for support of the back, because the original ones were 6 inches high, and I'm adding actually two more inches just to give me a little more backrest. So this is going to be shifted a little bit back, because I really don't sit all the way here at my seating areas, like from here, so I can move this back 3 inches, which allows this pad to go higher than where it was supposed to be, from by another another 6 inches, so it'll give me a nice backrest. My foot distance from here to there is just right. I'm 5'11", so that's really working out. Even a 6-foot person can sit here comfortably. You're going to have to bend your knees a little bit more. This right here is at the proper height, so so you can rest your elbows on your knees and still maneuver this. Right here, of course, this will have to be done differently. This is like I said, this was done with parts that I had at the time when I did that perforated perforated tubing go-kart. So I'm going to make this a lot better. It'll be nice. And once I get these brackets, hopefully today, I'll be able to figure out this how I'm going to do this, whether to just use those individual brackets. I think one of them can. I think 2 of them will join right here somehow. If that doesn't work, I'll be flattening this just like I did on my other go-kart, my racing go-kart, the yellow one. I'll flatten that and drill a hole and just use a C-clamp here, just to hold on to to brace this support here. This actually is a complete tube right here. This doesn't need to be a complete tube. All you need is just a piece here that's holding on to that, and another piece that's holding on to this. And the bar itself, the steering bar, can be the support with a C-clamp here and a C-clamp there. Another C-clamp here, so it doesn't move up and down, so it's locked in there, and it maintains this geometry here that we have here, this triangulation here. So it's so that's another way to do that. Instead of using this whole tube here, I just put the tube, just to mock up this setup here. But that's something else that I'm considering doing. Just to remove some of the weight here, because when you start adding tubes, to reinforce things, yeah, you're reinforcing things, but it can get it can start to get a little bit heavier. I have another tube. The back end of this is already painted also. This one right here, I think that belongs in the front here. So I may also put a different bracket here to extend this a little further in front of the wheels, so that it acts as a sort of a guard for the wheels. I could leave it out, but I think it looks much better with just a front bumper in there. Also, I can put a light in there. So, those are the that's what's been on my head lately. So yeah, I'll be working on this today a little more, and we'll see how this turns out in the next videos. But yeah, I really like this frame here with the EMT tubing. And once this is done, I think I'll post some more details, dimensions, where to establish the bends in case somebody wants to do something similar. It's really not hard. If you have a bender, I mean, you can also do this by just using a regular EMT bender without any modifications. If you step on it, you can bend it if you're really careful on making sure that those bends are nice and straight. That's the key there, because you have a slight deviation from one bend to the other. You're going to have this tubing little cockeyed. It's going to look weird, and it's going to be very difficult to establish a parallel setup here. Even with my setup that I use, with my bender that's mounted on that wall right there on that plate, I I had a little deviation in one of these, so it's a little bit off. And once you bend it, it's very difficult to twist it back. You would need some really heavy equipment or heavy clamps in order to bend that back. So it's got to be done right there from the start in order to maintain a nice even parallel assembly there. This can also be done flat, just a flat bar right there, straight across. You can do that. You're not going to have this dip right here, this low profile, lower center of mass, but it can also be done just flat. That would be a lot easier to do this. A similar setup to here. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Stay tuned for more.